Hi, Tanya with Tanya Barron's Group here again with another interview with a local Renton business. Today I'm with Charles from St. Charles Antiques in downtown Renton. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Glad I made it here through the snow and the ice.
That's right.
Yeah. Excited about this interview because they have been a staple in downtown Renton. Family owned and operated since 1973.
That's correct.
Wow.
Well, my dad was a collector
Okay.
of antiques, and I was going to college at the time, and he was paying for my tuition. He didn't like that much.
Okay.
So he tried to get me a job, so he said, start selling my excess antiques.
Oh.
So I did.
Okay.
And then his buddy had a building down here that was available, and we got into that building and started selling out of the building.
Okay.
And I'd skip school and come down to sell because people wanted to get in during the day.
Right.
And eventually, 50 years later, still doing it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well,
I mean, that's a long time to talk about, but
there's been all kinds of changes. The one thing that comes to my mind is over the years, at one point, there was 14 antique shops down here.
wow.
I was the first,
Okay.
and I'm still here, and there's one other.
Okay.
And I don't know why they come and go, but I'm truly dedicated to working and doing the business. I think a lot of people get in it sort of like a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a hobby.
Right.
It's real business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge change. It's funny because like when I was talking to somebody else this week, I'm thinking, man, most of the time you just came down here pretty much for you and Renton Western Wear. Like that was
Okay,
like that
yeah.
was like the only reason you come to downtown Renton. And so again, it's so exciting to just see all the new fresh businesses
Yep.
and all the traffic. Even just now
There
coming
is much more foot traffic and
Mhm.
traffic in general
Mhm.
than there was in the past. I mean, right now downtown is probably as busy as I've seen it.
Yeah.
So
Well, just when I was looping around, I had to be careful because there was 3 or 4 people crossing the street, and
Okay.
I thought, oh, it's pretty early for all these people to be
Sure.
out, but here they are.
all to what I think to be the better. I wish that we could do something about the homeless
Mhm.
and the vagrants. I've had some problems with break-ins and things that are disruptive, and a lot of theft, unfortunately. But it's not as bad as it could be, is the way I look at it.
Right, right.
So,
Have you noticed any like change since the revitalization project?
well, I mean, the roads, I always thought that the one-way roads were a hindrance to the downtown, and now most of them, not all of them, are a two-way. I don't know if everybody feels the same, but I really like it. I
Yeah,
think it's a great thing. And when they get second and third to go two-way, I think it's going to be amazing.
yeah.
First off is that not only do we sell antiques, we restore them.
Mhm.
And so I think that's the big advantage I have to most antique shops is that I can buy things that maybe aren't that cool
Mhm.
and turn them into very, very nice pieces
Oh, that's
through
awesome.
the restoration process. I do it for outside work. If somebody's got a piece that they'd like to have restored, we do it for them, or we do it for our own stuff. And I have 3 floors, which most people don't realize until they come in.
Yeah, it's a big place.
There's 14,000 square feet. There's a lot of stuff.
Wow.
And right now we're in the midst of having a sale, trying to eliminate as much stuff as we can because I want to remodel.
Oh, okay.
And we haven't done a thing to the building in 50 years. It's time.
Yeah,
It's falling apart.
yeah. Well, especially now with again all the other buildings, kind
Right.
of, you want to make sure that your building's not antique too.
Well, it is antique. 1914 is when it was built.
Yeah, well, that's cool. A lot of history here as well. So, do people like? Let's say I have a bunch of antiques, and then I just bring them in, and you can. Is it kind of like not like a pawn shop, but I mean, do you buy it from them? Or
I do. I buy right off
Okay.
the street.
Okay.
Most items I buy, people send me photos,
Okay.
and if I'm interested, I'll go visit them.
Mm-hmm.
And from the photos, I can't really tell a lot of things like condition and age. It's hard to tell from a photo. So I really have to see the stuff in person.
Mhm.
So a lot of people just on a regular basis come and see me, the same people, with things that they pick up, and I buy it from them. They know I'll pay cash for it, and so they're happy to bring it in. And I'm happy that I don't have to go traveling around looking for it.
Yeah, well, that's great. Do you do any online sales too, or do like
My
eBay?
my
or-
son does.
Okay.
And his online business is basically the only thing he does.
Okay.
And we do a lot of that.
Okay, that's great.
I feel the same way. I mean, it's very close, relationships. Although, if you are a business owner, you don't get out and about much.
Right.
You're in your business doing what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and so the actual communication amongst everybody is not really high.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do run into each other, we know who they are, and we do talk about different things going on in the area. So
Yeah, well, that's great. Besides your own.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not that new, but the cupcake shop is one that I frequent all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, Rulantino's restaurant is sort of a dive bar,
Mm-hmm.
but I love their food. It's got very good food.
That's good to know. I've actually don't think I've ever been in Ruben
Yeah, no,
but I've always wondered, and I'm like, oh,
it's a funny place with good food.
yeah. Well, that's what's really neat about Downtown Renton is there's still, again, the old kind of classics
Right.
that have stayed, but then there is the new, fresh owners on the street,
Yeah.
bringing more and more people down here.
I guess basically we're a very friendly shop. Come on in, visit us. I get people telling me all the time it's like going to a museum, and it truly is.
Mhm.
So it doesn't cost anything. You can look at everything and have a good time.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to look around, snap some photos, and see what you guys have here.
Okay.
So thanks so much for your time,
Okay.
and we'll see you guys next
All
time.
right. Thank you.